It gives you wonderful feeling, wonderful achievement you have within you. Though you are not achieving anything, but within that contemplation is going on, and that contemplation changes your personality, your thinking. If you have access to these, please do read both the books. See the last line. Wisdom is derived from tacit knowledge, which distinguishes one individual from another. One person grows up like this, other person remains down here. The difference is whether you have reached the wisdom state or not. What has been your tacit understanding, tacit knowledge level. And like quality, it has to be a continuous effort. It does not happen in one day. It does not happen in 1 month, 1 year. It requires long time. These are the reasons why you should manage knowledge. If somebody is using a better method, better technique, why not adopt it? Or you grow in, you reduce your status if you utilize a thing which is being done by somebody else, because that is a rivalry. One should be out of it. You should be able to use the best practice. Globalization is taking place, something is taking place in all over the world. Why not use it? Be part of the globalization. Changes which are taking place, change with that. So these are possible only when you capture that knowledge. You know where is the source, who is the one who is having this. You have access to him, approach him, and be absolutely gentle and with a very ethical and very true manner you reach and obtain and utilize. That is the way. Nowadays, lot of knowledge is embedded in the form of certain activities for actions in the products, guns, your automobiles, your aircraft. So much knowledge has gone inside the products, is burnt into the various ROMs which are utilized in various functions of various systems. So ROM is basically having the procedure electronically burnt into the hardware, and that ROM utilizes that knowledge and takes action. Like when the aircraft in these modern aircrafts, when the pilot has taken off and he has reached a height, he just puts the whole thing into autopilot and it takes you to New York or Toronto or any other place, and it is on auto. It is running, it is maintaining height, direction, tilt, everything. So these kind of things are there. What do you actually achieve out of that? Last line. It is sustainable competitive advantage. Mind both the words. Competitive advantage definitely you want to have because you are in the business. You are trying to achieve something. You as an individual, as an organization, as a business company, and it has to be sustainable. कि थोड़े दिन तो चला फिर उसके बाद बंद हो गया. Not that kind of thing. It has to be regular. So that kind of thing is possible if you do knowledge management. You can have a formal definition of this. For all this while I try to clear the concept to you, now you can have this. New opportunities will develop if you have the knowledge, if you have done the management of knowledge, if you have the knowledge, if you have kept it with you, if you are sharing it regularly with people, they will recognize you. You will have increase in status, increase in your, personality. You will be able to achieve things. You will be able to give your opinion. You will be counted in the society. All these things are possible provided you do this. Sharing is one of the most important part. Like earlier, we have been talking only of capital and some sort of, labor as one of the most inevitable things as assets in an organization. Knowledge is most important. You have money, you have people, but people without this, so what will they do? They will do nothing, but they will break this only. So you have to have knowledge, knowledgeable people. So it is an asset, very important asset these days, and it has to be shared. If the attitude of the people is such that I have all the knowledge, I be called important, I be called boss, I be called this, but I do not want to share with you, so then you are a wretched person. You are not a person worth anything. You have to share it. You have to share it and tell other person, look, you are wrong here, you please do it like this, so that things are okay. Many people don't do it. That is why these days there is some emphasis on spiritual upbringing, spiritual knowledge. Bhagwan se darna, don't cross a threshold, be within limits. So that kind of people should understand this, and they should share. By sharing, you are developing it more. If you are told to be the knowledge management person in any organization, then your activities will be something like this. If you want to be a knowledgeable person and want to take action to develop yourself as a knowledgeable person, or in your occupation you are appointed as a knowledge officer or knowledge management person, knowledge management manager, then you have to do this. And as an individual on daily basis, you should be doing it in your present occupation. If you do not do it, you will be left behind. It is for sure. It may happen in 3 months, it may happen in 6 months, it may happen in 1 year. You will be outdated. Many people say, oh, these days, IT has increased or reached a level where I don't understand anything. In military, I have understood when I used to deliver lectures there in College of Combat Mao, यार हमने भी कोर्स तो किया था, लेकिन अभी तो आउट ऑफ नॉलेज हो गए हैं, because they have not been doing this. If you do not do this, you get outdated very soon. You get outdated in your present, professional field. Because changes are taking place, new developments are taking place, research is going on. You have to keep abreast with all that. I have given you the handout. ये तो दिया है ना सबको. So you can now relate things, contemplate in your own time. This is the architecture. For any knowledge management to take place at a reasonable level, you have to have leadership, or in that environment where social, political, economic and governance, you have to, in that environment, you have to have this kind of leadership, organization, then technology supported, and you must be learning things. With this architecture, if it is not available to you, the knowledge management or acquisition or sharing, or what should I say, dissemination or utilization will be not to the full extent. It will be limited. But if you have all these 4 pillars available in any organization, that organization will flourish, and you as an individual will be able to show impact. And some of the areas which you will have to really study and understand for proper knowledge management and to fit into this architecture, you require study of systems engineering. Systems engineering is looking at all the systems, integrating them together, and then the new system, how it works. That is the total systems engineering. Organization development, OD. OD requires from an individual to the overall organization. how the development takes place. System management, you have to manage the system. Once whole thing is in place, you have to manage it. Something will go down, something will go up, something this, you have to keep it balanced in equilibrium. If the change takes place, people tilt like this, then you have to bring them like this. You have to keep the aircraft flying in the balanced form. If you cannot do that, then your system management is not there. Something which is causing the problems have to be resolved, have to be addressed, and solution has to be found. So then you achieve that. And what is lost? Yeah, you have to keep on monitoring it. You have to monitor it, and you have to again apply corrections. Those people who have studied control theory, they will appreciate it better. It is applicable same way to the any organization. There is a bigger difference, then it keeps on smaller.
What is the role of leadership here?
Without leadership, nothing happens. Leadership, if I don't have the leadership, I wouldn't have taken the initiative to. I am getting my salary, I have a house, I have my wife, I travel in the car, I discuss things with the chairman, and I am happy. But if I don't have the leadership, I would have sat tight. But I am taking initiative to teach knowledge management. Why? I have the leadership, something is burning in me, something is making me take action and say I must teach the teachers of Rukmani Devi Public School knowledge management. Why should I do it? What extra am I achieving? Some people say, you are relative of Mr. Garg, you want to take your institutions ahead. It is not true. Had I been in any other organization, I would have done that. When I was abroad, the total sales of capital equipment in auction was at 13 million, 13. When I left the organization, it had crossed 65 millions. It is all my action X, action Y, action Z. And the person responsible, general manager there, I was divisional head. He was so very happy that you have increased the whole thing in 2.5 years, 5 times. Capital equipment, big things, very big things. Because that thing is there in me, I don't feel satisfied or satiated till I achieve what I want to achieve. So leadership is of various types. Personal leadership, personal traits, personal things, various types of related to environment, related to many things. So leadership has to be there. Those who are without leadership, they fail in many aspects. Leadership has to be provided, effective leadership, not only leadership, effective leadership. If you are having a problem and I come to know you are having a problem and I keep my eyes closed कि मरने दो अपने आप से आती रहेगी problem को, I am not a leader. I must have concern for the person. I must resolve your problem so that you are happy and then you are able to contribute to your profession. That kind of thing. There are so many things. Personal leadership, so many things. Understood? Without leadership, nothing happens. Or Upasana can also contribute. Tell her something. Please. Tell her. Importance of leadership in the architecture of knowledge management. Yes. उसको बता ना, मेरे को क्या बता रही है? Okay, I'll try to give you this thing. You look at the whole thing. If you say I ask you to do knowledge management, I have not provided you with certain supports. I am the leader. I decide things here. I say no, this I cannot give. Then how can I ask you to do knowledge management? All types of technological support, my other financial support, time, I have to load you with work only to the extent where for this much period you do knowledge management, this much period you do your normal duties. All these things I must facilitate you in so many ways. All those things have to come from the leadership, isn't it? So like this, okay, you please think over it and we can discuss it further.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, how can a RDIS, for example, this institution, can be act as a knowledge management? It has four pillars like leadership, like learning, methodology, organization, and technology. All things have. For example, like RDIS. How can it act as a knowledge management or knowledge KPO? Or how can you relate four pillars to RDIS
Okay.
as a knowledge resource? Or
Okay. See, our faculty is expert in each field, their own field. So once they start doing this knowledge management at their own level, though to a great extent they are already doing it, we have already reached a level where we are now considered one of the best in the university. We are considered one of the best in the university. We are amongst the first three. Now each one of them is doing, we have been initiating them. Now the cumulative effect of all this gets reflected and known to the people, and the reputation of the organization, the achievement of the organization, all these things get known. We will be able to solve our problems in a much more pragmatic manner, much more practical way. We are able to cut down costs, we are able to look after our employees better, we are able to produce better results of the students. All this will be possible. So in a teaching organization, what else you expect? So each one of them is doing, and the motivation and dedication of the people here is such that hardly anything remains pending for a long period. It is attained and achieved within a short time. We have number of committees, we have number of dedicated people for social activities, for cultural activities, for academic activities, for infrastructure looking after, for development of software, for various portal updating. All this is possible, and it has not happened in one day. There were people who resisted it very vehemently. We tried to persuade them. Some of them resigned and went away. Some more people came, and like this the process is on. Process is on, so that there are standards which need to be achieved. Standards where you have here or you have here. So where should you be? I want to be here. We have strategic locations, strategic advantages, well qualified postgraduate doctorates and very educated people. So why should we not be the top number one? That is possible through knowledge management. Now if you talk of, say, human resource management, who teaches human resource management? Arpita. Now number of case studies, number of discussions which she is carrying out, the syllabus of the university which has been prescribed is being taught here, and like this the person with specialty of human resource management, when he passes out from here, his knowledge standard will be much higher than the persons from other institutes. That will speak for us. Understood? Now this knowledge management is already there. So much is already there on the portal. So much is already there on the student portal. It has already come up on the student portal. Students are accessing it. Students are taking the tests. Students are judging where they have reached, what standard they have achieved. So this is already taking place. Okay, fine? Or much more?
So this is basically an explicit knowledge. Now these are facts and figures.
Oh madam, it is not explicit knowledge.
What is the tacit knowledge?
You have not understood the whole thing then. This girl is trying to put up things on portal related to her field of action, this thing, whether she makes use of the explicit knowledge from the books, from the articles, from various things, or from her experience. All the things are there getting onto the portal. Explicit knowledge is getting converted into, tacit knowledge is getting converted into explicit knowledge. Explicit knowledge from the books is already also coming there, and the quintessential thing is available to the student. So knowledge management has already taken place. It has to be further refined every year, every semester, and you reach a level where you say, कि अगर if human resource say knowledge is required to be studied, go to Arpita's ID, Arpita's portal, Arpita's content of the knowledge.
Okay, so fine. This is. Can there is any one methodology that can convert explicit to tacit? Explicit.
That is the whole aim. From the books, etc., through transmission, we are trying.